welcome back to Beauty Bee and to my second update for my Project 100 Uses. I will link the intro video up in the cards, and I will try to remember to add the little playlist of currently only 3 videos that I have made for my updates down in the description box. But the short version is I am tracking my usage on all of my different color cosmetics, those things that I like to switch out. So eyeshadow, cheek products, lip products, as well as those little extras that I wanted to decide if they're worth it for me to just keep in my collection all the time. So you'll see it when we get there, but that is some special primers, some eyeliners, just little things like that. So we actually had a couple of empties this month, which is very exciting. I finished off my first lip product in this challenge. Obviously, I finished off other lip products many times before, but I finished my ColourPop Chimichanga Just a Tint. I don't have the tube with me, but it is a more red-orange version of this product. And that took me, let's see, 27 uses from the date that I started this project. I've been counting usage as 1 application per day. So if I, for example, I applied this morning both to my lips and to my cheeks, that only counts as 1. If I need to touch up throughout the day, which I will, that won't count as any more, just 1 use for the day. So I had right around half a tube of chimichanga left when I started this project. So that means that it took me 50-ish applications probably, because I'm guessing I applied probably twice per day that I used this. And so that means there's about 100 applications in one of these ColourPop Just a Tints, as a very, very rough approximation. So that's good to know going forward for this product. All right. I also finished off my miniature travel size of the number 7 primer. That took 28 uses. I was gonna say that seems too similar. 28 uses to finish that off. I thought at the beginning of this project that I was about half done with that. I think I was actually probably closer to having maybe 3/4 of a bottle, but it lasted me 27 uses, which is really a decent amount of time, and it was actually 1/3 of the full size, which is an awesome sample travel size, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think I need to buy that particular primer again. I've been using a Dior primer that I got from Influencer, so I don't think I need that number 7 one, but it did teach me that I really do enjoy a nice pore-filling primer, especially over my nose and parts of my cheeks. Okay, so let's talk very quickly about eyeshadow. Eyeshadow, I think, is overall the category where I've made the most progress towards this 100 use goal. I've used, for example, my NYX Ultimate Utopia 27 times. I've used my NYX Almond Pop 22 times. I've used my Maybelline Matte and Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palettes the most of, I think, anything in this project. I've used my Maybelline Matte palette 34 times, and I am trying to pan really the whole palette, but particularly just a couple of just 2 shades. This one I think will be the first to go. I have been using that along with this white the last few days to set my eye primer, but just in general I will often use a mixture of those 2 to highlight my brow bone. And I am working on this shade as well. This is just like a soft brown that I will occasionally use as a very light crease transition shade. And I'm actually quite close to hitting pan in both of these shades too. So I don't want to get rid of this packaging. I actually want to repress some Wet n Wild shades into here because this packaging is quite sturdy and my Wet n Wild quads are anything but. But I'm making good progress on that, and I don't want to bet that I can have this shade finished in a month, but I think that if I continue to set my eye primer, that I should at least be close to done with this in a month. Fingers crossed. My Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air has been used 31 times, so again, quite a lot. I haven't made any visual progress since last time on that palette, so I'm not going to show it, but know that it is getting good use. I added a new palette between last time and this time. It is the Wet n Wild 32 pan palette, and I really focused on using that for entire looks every day when I first got that. I think I did 5 or 6 looks just using that palette, like within the week of getting it. So I ended up using that 12 times, which I think is great. The things that are lagging behind in the eyeshadow category are the same things that were lagging behind last time. They are my e.l.f. quads, none of which I have used more than 10 times. I am at 7 times on my sort of orangey one and my green one, and at 9 on the pink and berry one. I mean, that's not awful. That means I've been using each of them about once a week over the past 2 months, but it's not 31, it's not 33, so they're lagging a little behind. I don't know. They might just take a lot longer to hit the 100 than some of these other products, which are on track to hit 100 uses in 6 months. Wild. So I decluttered 2 lipsticks. Additionally, I finished a third one. I decluttered my e.l.f. Berry Sorbet. This was one of their matte lip crayons, and I'd only used that once, which was unimpressive to say the least. I additionally decluttered my Wet n Wild Wine Room lipstick. I actually really did enjoy this lipstick, but the packaging was quite flimsy and I ended up getting a quite similar shade. So I decided that it could go. It is quite bright, and the mixture of the packaging along with just the applicator was not giving me the kind of precision that I really want with a quite bright lipstick. Otherwise, what is going really well in the lip category? I got my Wet n Wild Great Correlation that I think I talked about trying to pan last time. I still have no sense of where I actually am in this product. I mean, I can see these little ridges almost along the tube pretty much until about here on the tube. So about the halfway point. But I also have this little window that's formed down here. I don't know if you will be able to see it in the camera, but in person, I haven't used this in I think 2 days. It's been stored upright, but yet I still have this little window. So I have no idea how much of this I've used, how much I have left, but I've been using it a lot. I've used this, let's see, 21 times since this project began, and oftentimes that's not a single use during the day. That might be a single use plus 2 or 3 reapplications. So I'm definitely making progress. Definite progress. I would really like, I'm gonna say I would really like to pan it, which is true. I would like to pan it by the next month, but I think my goal more is to know where I am in this lipstick for next month. Lofty goals. What else has been going really well? I've hit 14 uses in my ColourPop Go-Go. My ColourPop Chimichanga, the one that I finished, had become my lip balm that I wore when I was just putzing around the house in the morning in my PJs, and this has started to replace it in that role. This is rolled all the way up. There's not a ton of products left in this, but there also just isn't a ton in these to start with. ColourPop's cost-saving measure when it comes to their lip products is definitely giving you less than a lot of other brands do. I mean, you can see I haven't actually used up a ton of it, but it's just not a lot in these tubes. My Sephora matte lip creams are lagging behind as usual. They've only gotten 3 uses each, which I guess is not bad. It's actually more use on Black Cherry than I really expected to have, but I need to be using those. I need to make a point of reaching for them. Additionally, Maybelline Ruler is still at 3 uses, though that is in my Shop My Stash, so I'm definitely going to use that a couple more times just over this next week even. Cheek products are an area where I don't tend to mix it up that much, so I have really quite good progress on several of them. I'm up to 32 uses on Harmony, and I mean, here's what it's looking like now. So that's not going anywhere anytime soon, but I do love that I can see progress in it. I have used Rosé Champagne, which is my Wet n Wild blush, 19 times, and I know that I'm getting close to pan, but it's not quite there yet. I feel like every time I use it, I'm going to see pan, and I haven't. My e.l.f. Sparkling Rose is another thing that is in my Shop My Stash, and I'm at 16 uses on that. I really think that I should be at 20 probably by the end of the week, which will be amazing. And I bought 2 new highlighters last month. They were included in last month's update, but I think I only used them maybe 2 or 3-ish times a piece at that point, and now I have used the peach one 11 times and the pink one 13 times. So really good progress there, very happy with that. And then finally, my little catch-all junk drawer miscellaneous category. I've used my Kat Von D liner 8 times, which seems low. I don't know if I've forgotten to count uses or if maybe I've just been using my powder liner to make cat eyes a little bit more often than I thought, but that seems low to me. I don't know exactly what's going on there. I've used my Wet n Wild liner 7 times, which seems right. That's just a black-brown twist-up liner. And I've used my glitter glue 12 times. So great. I think I'm making really good progress. I think that this is showing to be a really helpful project in that I actually know what I'm using. And for example, I don't think that I would have realized at this point this year that I hadn't been using my Maybelline Ruler matte lipstick, which was one of my absolute favorites last year and probably isn't going to last me until next fall. I think it will probably just dry up before then. I didn't realize how little I had actually used it until I saw the numbers, and then I was able to at least make my first steps towards correcting that and getting both the money that I paid for out of that product as well as the utility and enjoyment that I want to be getting from my products out of it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed, and let me know if you are doing a similar project, I would love to watch your videos. I'd love to hear about it. And I really hope I'll see you next time. Bye.